dime and let me just go bang.
Why da da dang, why da 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 dang. Player haters, masturbators, bitches all up in my shit. Living scared, you know you did. Walking around with a crippled leg, that bitch boy tried to test my shit. Fucking with the rhythm kick. MAGNOLIA, that is where your ass will lay. You player haters on my dick, trying to put me in a kick. I fuck you twice, I fuck one more. All you cowards get the flow, these jealous fellas in the game, knowing that they ass is lame. Big ass line, but still is lame. You gotta talk it, fuck it. When that smoke is in my nose, I be wanna kidnap hoes, talking shit about the click. You gon' get your ass kicked out. How about my fucking ride and put my Glock to your side? Lock in the fucking trunk, and then I'll get this one.
Now watch my nine and let me just go bang.
Why da da dang, why da 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 dang.
Watch my nine and let me just go bang.
Why da da dang, why da 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 dang.
This is a little something for you, you little biatch.
favorite motherfucker. I told you, didn't I? Drama makes the world go around. Does anybody got a problem with that? Yeah, my business is my business. Who's guilty? Can I get a witness? First things first, the chocolate starfish is my man Fred Durst. Access Hollywood license to kill a redneck fucker from Jacksonville. Bringing on the dumpster funk, a microphone machetes in the back of my trunk. Rocking so steady with the he says, she says. And don't forget about the starfish navigation system. Don't hate me, I'm just an alien with 37 tons of new millennium. Dum diddy dum, where's it coming from? Mrs. Aguilera, come and get some. Oh no, which way to go? Through the dance flow, it's still a stereo. Pay me no mind, I seen the Fight Club about 28 times. And I'ma keep my pants sagging, keep a skateboard, a spray can for the tagging. And I'ma keep a lot of girls on my bandwagon, cause I don't give a fuck living life in the fast lane. it smells. Here's a toast to the females, sipping rum champagne from a seashell. I think I counterfeit and pop his ass like a zit with the starfish navigation system. No cheap thrills, baby. Fill the briefcase with $3 bills. I'm just an ordinary run-of-the-mill fella, spitting out hella mic skills. And I'ma keep my pants sagging, keep a skateboard, a spray can for the tagging. And I'ma keep a lot of girls on my bandwagon, cause I don't give a fuck, living life in the fast lane. I'm just a crazy motherfucker, living it up, not giving a fuck, living life in the fast lane. Another crazy motherfucker, living it up, not giving a fuck, in the fast lane. Cause it's so easy to tell a lie, and it's so easy to run at night, but it's not easy to be alive, so don't be wasting none of my time. This world's like a cage, and I don't think it's fair, and I don't even think that anybody cares. It'll lead a hole down inside of me, and it'll leave a scar. Can anybody see that we gotta get it out? We gotta get it out. We gotta get it out. And I'ma get it out with the motherfucking microphone, plugging in my soul. I'm a renegade riot, getting out of control. I'ma keep it alive and continue to be flying like an eagle to my destiny. So can you feel me? Hell yeah. Can you feel me? Hell yeah. Can you feel me? Hell yeah. If you feel me, motherfucker, then you say hell yeah. Then you say hell yeah. Then you say hell yeah. I'm living life in the fast lane. Cause it's so easy to tell a lie, and it's so easy to run at night, but it's not easy to be alive, so don't be wasting none of my time. Yeah, bring it on. I'm just a crazy motherfucker, living it up, not giving a fuck, living life in the fast lane. Another crazy motherfucker, living it up, not giving a fuck, in the fast lane.
Раскудрявилась кудря, разразилась роза. Не расстраивайся зря, вырастет береза. Распушилась пушня, растянулась тяга, расклешилась клешня, зацвела коряга.